we'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all those who have joined us today in the celebration of my dad's life. We ask that you would remember our family in prayer over the next few days. My mom would like to give a special thank you to all those who have been supportive to her over the last few days, a very difficult time. We couldn't have made it without your concern, without your love. We thank you and appreciate that. On behalf of the R.B. Bingham family, we appreciate the First Pentecostal Church of Anderson, Indiana, allowing our family to be a part of this church for over a half century. I'd like to say thank you to the Assemblies of the Lord Jesus Christ for allowing my dad the honor of positions through the years. There are too many for us to talk about, but I wanted to say thank you to the Assemblies of the Lord Jesus Christ, of which my dad was a founding member in 1952. I want to say thanks to my immediate family for their love and their closeness. We have them all here today. Every family member we have is here. And I appreciate that. The support to my mother through the family is truly a wonderful blessing. I'd like to say thank you to our friends and guests from around the world. We have had wonderful messages on Facebook and our personal pages from hundreds of people from around the world. And thank you. You're so kind. Your prayers, your love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to introduce my little sister. She's going to come here and take a moment to greet this congregation. She has been the pastor's wife of this church. She's been the pastor's daughter of this church, and now she's the pastor's mother of this church. A lady of prayer, and has, through the years, loved the First Pentecostal Church of Anderson. We want her to greet you today, and may God bless you.
My daddy deserves double honor. And we were so sad when we couldn't give him the massive service that he deserved. With all the dignitaries and friends and family, church family. But I'm telling you, people all over this world have done just that. You've honored my daddy. You've just done massive things on social media. And we're so thankful for your precious words, pictures of Dad. He was doing just what he loved. I cannot say how deeply appreciative we are. You have certainly risen to the occasion, and you've held my dad in high honor and undergirded us beyond our imagination. When I was born, Daddy called me his little Queenie. He loved me. I always knew my daddy loved me. He always wanted to help me when I was sick and bring me some Sprite or some popsicles. He wanted to give me a little bit of stick-back money, he called it, in case I had an emergency. And he'd say, now you fold that up and put it in your wallet, and if you have an emergency, you've got it. He wanted my car to be fixed, my tires to be new. He's been worried about some roof issues on my house that he helped build, and he's told me several times, I want you to get that roof fixed. My first car my dad got me was a little blue Pinto with racing stripes, and man, I thought that was just the greatest. Daddy spoke at my high school graduation from PHHS in 1975. He was proud of the many accomplishments of our family. I thought he would burst with pride when I graduated from college and passed my boards for RN. He would make his rounds at the hospital and come to the ER and see us, find out what was going on in the ER. Daddy loved strawberries and coconut cake and comfort food. He loved for me to cook for him. And he was always so grateful for anything anybody did for him. He would tell me how people had been so sweet and were doing things. He never forgot his roots, and he always worked hard. We walked and prayed 6 mornings a week. Every morning I'd get in the car and he'd say what kind of morning we had going. Boy, it's a beautiful morning, or it's a little rainy this morning, or it's kind of cool this morning. He would begin his walk with prayer for strength. He'd say, Jesus, help me. Every step is a praise. Every breath is a worship. At the end of the walk, his phone alarm would go off, and he would say, at the sounding of the trumpet. Many times before he would drop me off at home, I'd say, Daddy, are you hungry for anything in particular? Sometimes he'd say, oh, how about a roast? I'll give you the money. He would tell me if he was hungry for something. If not, he'd say, no, not really. Different times, Daddy would ask me to pray for him. He had confidence in my prayers. I was always proud of my dad. He could fit in with anybody. He had a heart full of compassion and love for people and nature. He had a little yellow cat that he loved for many, many years. If she got sick, he wanted me to pray for her. He couldn't stand the thought of anyone or any animal suffering or being cold or being hungry. Daddy always wanted people to have food. Most of all, he was faithful. He always gave me a biblical answer for any question I've had during my life. I've seen him withstand some storms, but he sure showed us how to trust God and always come out on the